How's it going, my truant people? DrSlaking, the Slacking Doctor, back for week 4? I think? Yeah, week 4 of the NPL. And this week we're going up against my man Ultraplayer and his West Virginia Miniors. If you're new to the channel, and you've never seen his videos before, that name might not mean anything to you, but if you've been around the channel for a little while, that name will probably mean something to you, because this man was the first man that we played in the NPL tryout tournament. He completely shafted me with his Mega Altaria. I brought a sub Keldeo and he brought Hyper Voice Altaria, and it put in the work. So having been dispatched by this man week 1 in the NPL tryout tournament, I definitely wanted to kind of get revenge here in the Minors League. I wanted to show that I'm a better player than I showed that week, and that I can do a lot better than I did that week. So, as promised, after last week's fiasco where I couldn't prep and stuff, this week I actually used my front office. We did do some prep. Shout out to Strumful, shout out to everyone else that was. I remember Strumful being there. I think Ben was helping too. I think everyone was pretty much helping my front office. So shout out to everyone that was helping. This is definitely a more thoroughly built team. I don't think I did any mocks for this. It was a little over a week ago that we built the team, so my memory is hazy. So I think it was an untested team, but other than that, thoroughly built. So with that in mind, we have Sean the Slowbro here with the Assault Vest. This was designed to take on his Nidoking, which hasn't come. So it was pretty spadef with the Assault Vest. 4 attacks like Fire Blast, Future Sight, Scold, and I can't remember the 4th move off the top of my head. Ice Beam, I think. No, I don't think it was Ice Beam. Not sure. And then we have our Torn. This is another Assault Vest mod. Designed to switch on as Hydreigon. We can switch on the Hydreigon. If it was Scarf, we wouldn't take Teros with the Assault Vest. And if it was Specs, we'd outspeed him and be able to do big damage to him and threaten him out. So this was like a kind of pseudo Hydreigon check. I don't really have a great Hydreigon check on my team, so I was surprised that it didn't come. But I guess AV Tyranitar could have done that too. But I'm always going to feel like a fighting coverage. I'm pretty sure Hydreigon gets superpower, but I might be misremembering there. And then we have our Excadrill, which is designed to sweep this game. If you look at his team, Excadrill with Ironhead has a pretty good matchup if we can handle the Rotom and the Ferrothorn. It's actually Scarf Excadrill, Scarf Mold Breaker, so that I can hit the Rotom with the Earthquake, but also so that I can hit the Mimikyu without its Disguise coming into play, because the Mold Breaker counteracts the Disguise and just goes straight through it. We can just OHKO with an Ironhead and Mimikyu, and I don't think he's going to be a Berry. Then we have Mega Medicham. This is just 4 attacks. You considered some other kind of funky sets, but this is just straight up Bullet Punch, Zen Headbutt, High Jump Kick, and Thunder Punch. The priority is nice for the Togekiss if it's Scarf, and for the Mimikyu if it starts to set up, because we outspeed it and will out-prioritize the Shadow Sneak. It's also pretty nice for the Lycanroc as well. Thunder Punch can hit things like the Togekiss here. So yeah, pretty cool set. High Jump Kick hits most of his team too. Really nice matchup for Mega Medicham in my opinion. Then we have our Tyranitar, which is banded. This is big banded Tar. Banded Adamant with Crunch, Stone Edge, Crunch, Stone Edge, Pursuit, and possibly Rocks. I should say as well, the Drill has Earthquake, Iron Head, Rapid Spin, and I can't remember the 4th coverage move. It might have been like Exeter or something. I can't remember. Maybe Poison Jab. I'm not sure. But either way, it has a control. It's a little bit funky in this game because it's Scarf, Spin, Drill, and Banded Rocks T-Tar. So definitely not the best kind of hazard game here, but hopefully we can just beat him with raw offense rather than having to hazard stack. And then last up, we have a Fizz Def Rocky Helmet Amoonguss, designed to sort of throw in against the Lopunny. Between that and Slowbro, we can just keep pivoting into it, taking hits, and getting some Rocky Helmet chip with the Amoonguss off, and Sand chip with Tyranitar. So, with that in mind, basically what I want to do in this game, at team matchup, I'm looking at Drill, because that is my win con offensively, and I'm like, how do I win with Scarf Ironhead? I've got to pressure the Ferrothorn especially, because Scarf Earthquake can maybe sweep if I can also handle the Togekiss, but the Ferrothorn is the biggest problem, then the Rotom too. Now, Tornadus does both of those supremely well, as does Tyranitar. These are going to be my breakers in this match. I have a really nice bulky kind of pivot with AV Torn, and I have a really nice breaker with Banded Tyranitar. Something like the Mega Medicham, for example, Ferrothorn's never going to stay in on, so I want to isolate that Ferrothorn and break it as early as possible for Drill. If I use Mega Medicham, that's fine to break some other stuff, but primarily I want to get T-Tar and Torn on the field as early as possible and as often as possible. So with that in mind, I'm going to lead off with Drill, because if he leads with Mega Lopunny, which he thought he probably would, a lot of people like to do that for fake out lead, I get Sand Chip on him plus Rocky Helmet chip on him, and I still have Strumpf in the back that I can just pivot out into and sponge up this hit. There was nothing he could go for there that threatened me too much. Yes, I'm going to take the Sand Chip as well, but it's just a nice way of kind of wearing down Lopunny. Lopunny I'm not really going to break that easily, and I want to get rid of his priority. It's quite a scary mon. So my best way of doing it is just chipping at it with Sand, Rocky Helmet, and all that good stuff. So here we're going to make the double into Skyward, and this is quite an aggressive play by me, but I knew that he would never... Basically, when I brought in the Amoonguss, like this, it kind of screams like 1 Rocky Helmet but 2 Spore, right? I'm not an AV set. This Amoonguss should have Spore, and it does have Spore, but I know that Ultraplayer is a very good player, so I know there's no way in hell he's staying in on this Spore. So I'm going to just make the aggressive double into Torn, trying to catch his Ferrothorn, because unless he's got anything with safety goggles, then Ferrothorn should be his logical switch into a potential Spore. And this tells me that maybe he doesn't have anything with safety goggles, but it gives me a nice U-turn. I'm just going to try and pivot out, because this isn't my breaker. Like I said, this is my kind of bulky pivot to position him, and that's what we're really doing here. We're really fighting for positioning, but to get in Barney, because now Banded Tar is in. I'm just going to click Crunch. I thought about going for the Pursuit, but if you went for the Will-O-Wisp, you know, I was getting new to me. I was aware that I was taking that risk, but a Banded Crunch is still going to do a lot. So we just fire this off, and we put now this Ferrothorn down, more than likely into range of our Heat Wave, unless he's like Occo Berry. I thought it was more likely he'd be like Chopal Berry or something like that. But he actually just goes for his Spike here, as I do have to pivot out. I don't want to take a Gyro Ball with Tar. Tar's still very, very useful. Here I go for the U-turn again, expecting him to try and pivot into the Rotom, but knowing that I can always pivot into this Ferrothorn if I get it wrong with Amoonguss. So I go into Amoonguss here. I know this thing, even if he goes for like a Power Whip, Gyro Ball, whatever, it's not going to do too much. And then I can go back into Torn now. He's shown the T-Wave. I don't think he's going to go for the T-Wave again. He doesn't. He goes for the knockoff. And now Skyward is in. And I believe I just click U-turn again, because I'm like, there's no way he's going to stay in. There's no way he's going to stay in twice on me. He's not doing it. I've already shown the Amoonguss, and I can just keep infinitely switching with the Regenerator between those two. So we get Barney in, and this is exactly the position that we want. I believe here we go for the Pursuit, I think, just to try and, yeah, we go for the Pursuit. Try and get this Rotom as low as possible as well, because that's another thing that can take an Iron Head. See if he's got a Super Berry, and he doesn't. I can't remember if he's already shown lefties or anything like that. But either way, we managed to put the Rotom now down to 3%. So now his Iron Head switches are looking really not good if we can get rid of this Ferrothorn. And here he goes for the T-Waves and misses. So, like, obviously, this is a little bit of hacks in our favor. A lot of hacks, it seems like, at the time. I actually think this gets balanced out, and I'll explain why as and when that happens. But I do apologize to him, because, like, it just sucks when you have turn 10 and you're already missing a T-Wave. Like, it sucks. I didn't think he'd go for the T-Wave there, because I've already shown Amoonguss as a bit of a pivot into this thing, and I thought he might fear, like, getting nothing out of the turn or whatever. But I guess he's thinking that my Amoonguss just can't touch him, so he doesn't really fear it. So we get Skyward in for free, pretty much. But the reason I think it doesn't make too much difference is because he just stays in here and sacks it anyway. And Skyward really now has done its job. Like, it's pressured the Ferrothorn, it's pressured the Rotom. So even if he had paralyzed me, assuming I didn't get fully paralyzed and I got my Heat Wave off and he decided to stay in, as he did do there, I haven't, like, I don't think it would have changed the game too much. Especially because here he goes and distant clicks Stealth Rocks, and I now click Spore to try and catch something coming in, putting it to sleep. The Ferrothorn's gone, I've got rid of that, so I'm free to Spore, and I get fully paralyzed in my Amoonguss. So that's why I feel like the hacks kind of got balanced, because we do later knock off this Togekiss and find out what item it had, and it does not have safety goggles. So the Amoonguss Togekiss, sorry, the Togekiss would be asleep right now, so that's why I feel like the hacks kind of... and that's the nature of T-Wave, right? It has the poor accuracy because it's also like the yellow magic, right? It's also kind of broken. So it goes both ways for me there. That's my opinion on it. I think getting this Togekiss to sleep would have been amazing. Here I'm just going to pivot into Sean. There is no Nidoking, so Sean's kind of expendable in this matchup. And I know that this thing's not going to do too much with an Air Slash, and I can pressure him with Future Sights and stuff if he wants to nasty plot up and all that business. So here I'm going to get Future Sight off. I just think that it keeps basically his Mimikyu from coming in and setting up on me too much. And so that's really, really nice. And we're just going to go for the Scold here. Scold plus Future Sight, whatever. Those kind of things can kind of dissuade Mimikyu from coming in too much. In comes the Togekiss again. And this time I'm going to pivot into Tyranitar. Try and get some Sand Chip off and basically just sack T-Tar here to him. But he actually goes for the Wish, so I'm like, oh, okay, this is a little bit annoying. He takes the Future Sight, so he takes a little bit of damage. There's no way he can stay in there unless he's got Protect, so I'm just going to go for the Banded Stone Edge. Because at least we keep the Togekiss low and probably in Iron Head range of Excadrill, right? Because I'm looking at his team now and I'm just like, wow, look at Scarf Excadrill. Iron Head, Iron Head, Iron Head, Iron Head, GG. Like, Excadrill is pretty much, now I've taken out the 2 Excadrill checks, just sweeps. And that's exactly what we're trying to do from turn 1. That's what we've been trying to position for. So we're going to pivot out into the Amoonguss here on the Lopunny. I'm sure he's going to 2-hit KO me, but it doesn't matter. Like, I just want to get Rocky Helmet Chip, and then I want to get Excadrill in to start clicking buttons and start killing things, right? So I'm happy to let Strumpf go down here. He guarantees to put this thing down into range of Iron Head, and I feel like we're in a really, really good position. The Togekiss is only at 61. We're probably going to kill it, and I don't know if he's going to kill me. So I feel like, okay, we're in a good spot. We're in a really good spot. So here I'm just going to go for the Iron Head, and we're going to pick off the Lopunny. Of course, here we reveal that we are Mold Breaker, so he knows that he can't do too much with his Mimikyu, and he goes into Togekiss. And this really surprised me because I was like, I thought he might go Lycanroc, try and like Excel Rock, and then into Mimikyu and try and like Shadow Sneak or something. But the reason that I say it surprised me, it didn't surprise me because I thought this thing had a great chance of being Berry Berry. One of the most important things when I brought in T-Tar on this thing earlier and he went for the Wish, one of the main reasons that I did that was because we got the Sand Chip on him and that therefore revealed his item that was not Leftovers. And I was like, okay, he could have been safe to Goggles where he came in, but I don't think so because he used his Pharaoh as a pivot before that. He didn't show Leftovers. He has Wish. Like, I feel like this is 100% a Resist Berry, right? It's clearly not choiced in any way. Like, it could be a Super Berry, but I think it's more than likely a Resist Berry. So with that in mind, I'm like, okay, if this has come out, this is probably Berry Berry. I ran Berry Berry Togekiss myself the last time I played an Excadrill, so I was like, this is probably Berry Berry, Fire Blast, or like Aura Sphere or something. But he actually just goes for the Wish, and I'm like, maybe I've choked. Like, maybe I've made a big misplay. Regardless, we're going to get Mac in, and we're just going to go for a big Zen Headbutt, I think. No, big Thunder Punch. We may as well. This thing is going to take a lot, and he does reveal the Protect, which is annoying, because he manages to get back to full. And I thought I would pressure this thing and stop him getting back to full. Obviously, I don't do that, which really sucks. We paralyze the Lycanroc here, which does outspeed me naturally. It doesn't matter, like, it sucks because I now out-prioritize him with Bullet Punch. He maybe could have got some chip off with Excel Rock, but that won't actually come to matter. We would have killed him there with BP anyway, and he doesn't have a pivot into BP. Here, I'm going to BP and break this thing's Disguise as he goes for the SD. Now, one of the other reasons that I decided to take Excadrill out at the time I did is that Excadrill can still stake a +2 Shadow Sneak after another round of Spike and Rocks. It couldn't have done if I let it take any more chip. Like, it literally would just take a +2 Shadow Sneak at this range. So that was basically the other reason that I needed to preserve it and not bring it back in. So Mac's in now, and I'm like, here I make a bit of a misplay. He gets to +2, and I need to shout out D-Train, because D-Train messaged me after this match. He's another coach in Minors. We played in week 1. He messaged me after this match and pointed out another play that I could have made. I understand why I didn't make it, but I think it's a good shout. So basically here, I should have gone for the Bullet Punch again. I don't know why I didn't do that, for example. That one's irrelevant, but what I should have actually done is sack Slowbro to keep Medicham around. Instead, we're going to go into Excadrill. We know we can kill this thing. The reason that I didn't go into Slowbro, by the way, is because I was scared of him getting to +4. If he got to +4, he swept my whole team. As D-Train said, he would never go for the extra Sword Stance, because I've already shown Bullet Punch once, so I out-prioritized him. So if he went for a second SD, and I Bullet Punched, it would have put him so low that he couldn't have then out-prioritized me Shadow Sneak, and he would have died to the next Bullet Punch. So that was a really weird play, where I could have selected Slowbro, but I just got too scared of like choking the game away. But yeah, maybe that would have been my better play. Maybe that would have been my better play. Regardless, I'm still in the driving seat here, I think. In comes the Togekiss. I'm going to click Iron Head, and he isn't with Berry Berry. We do 59, so he wouldn't have been able to Wish Stun me. The last time he was in against me was at 61. He went for Wish. Even if he'd got his Protect back up and I'd done 59, he would have been on 2%, then he would have been on 52. He would have dropped the next Iron Edge. So, as it happens, I had won this game. Turn like 25, 24, I had won this game. If I just clicked Iron Head 5 times, I swept his whole team. GG. Game over. Done. But because I scouted for that Berry Berry, and he isn't Berry Berry, we're now in this spot where I'm like, I think it's okay still, right? He's on 41%. I have a max special attack Torn in the back. I'm just going to come in and click Hurricane. What's more, he's got to try and Wish Stall me, and I've got the Confusion chance and stuff. I need to land this Hurricane and KO, and he lives on 3. He lives on 3%, and I'm like, oh, and then he goes for the Wish, and then he goes for the Protect. And I'm like, oh, I go for the knockoff here to save Hurricane PP, and I'm like, this is bad. Hurricane into 38, so I need to go Confusion. I'm like, I still got a good chance of getting Confusion. We're going to speed this up, because you can imagine how this goes. And basically, we just go for a while. I'm fishing for a Confusion. He's hoping that I miss. And there we go. We land right off the side there. That's the nature of Hurricane. Then we go for the Heat Wave, thinking he'd Protect. As he goes for the Air Slash, both of us miss. It's a whole thing with the RNG here. We go for another Hurricane. That time we do 43. So had we done 43, like, the roll that we didn't kill him on, I believe we did 38, and he lived on 3%. Had we done 43 that turn, we won, right? It's an extra 5%. We won the game, and that's what I was thinking. I was like, we're going to kill. Iron Head into Hurricane is going to kill. It wasn't to be. So we're just going to keep spamming, and then I realized, okay, maybe I should try and pivot around with some regen. Maybe I can, like, stall him out of all his healing moves. So I start U-turning, I go into Sean. The problem is, he's got all these hazards up, and it makes it really, really difficult. But I'm like, if I can get a Future Sight off, and get Torn at the right time, and get Hurricane, then get Confusion, like, I'm just trying anything I can to try and, like, get some things together. So, like, now he's got to take the Future Sight attack. I thought he would protect. He didn't protect. But I'm like, okay, maybe I can stall him out of PP. Had I Hurricane that turn and got a Confusion, that might have been really nice, because the Hurricane would have done like 38. The Future Sight would have done like 38. In fact, had I just Hurricane there, I would have been in a really good spot. But I thought he would protect knowing that. So, either way, he's able to finish us off, and we lose this game. And this is a fascinating match, in my opinion, from an analysis point of view. If you're new to the channel and this is one of your first videos here, you don't know me very well, I don't claim to be the best battler in the world. I'm relatively new to the format. I've been playing for a little over a year now, and I'm trying to learn. And this channel has always been about learning. It's always been about learning together and building a community of people who want to learn. And I think this game is a fantastic example of like 50-50s in Pokemon that are really hard to call. And in particular, we're going to rewind it back. We're going to rewind it back because... we're gonna keep going. Here. Nope, bit further back. This turn here is like one of the most interesting turns I've had in a long time. Because like I say, if I Iron Head here, we do 58% roughly. That's what we did with the Iron Head when we finally got it off on him. He wished, then he protected. He got up to... he lived on 3, so we would have got up to 53. Then we KO'd with the next Iron Head. Then we OHKO'd Mimikyu with the Iron Head, and even a crit Shadow Sneak doesn't kill me. And then we OHKO'd Lycanroc. So it was this really weird situation where he had to bluff the Babiri Berry, and it really looked like a Babiri Berry. And I lost the game because I didn't attack. I lost the game because I scouted for the Babiri Berry. Because had he been Babiri Berry Fire Blast, then Mimikyu could have swept my team, and that was my fear. I would have been relying essentially on landing a Hurricane had he been Babiri Berry here. Not to mention the Lycanroc also would have been a problem. So it was this really weird situation where I still think I made the correct play. By switching out, we didn't rely on a Hurricane landing, in theory. We didn't rely on anything else. The problem was that he didn't attack. He wished, and he got this thing back up to full. Had he just attacked it, had he gone for the Fire Blast or the Aura Sphere, we would have won this game still, because we would have been able to KO this thing. We wouldn't have lived on 3%. And we didn't get the roll later on as well, but that's by the by. So it's a really weird situation where technically... I think, and let me know in the comment section, that's why I'm presenting this situation to you. I think technically we made the right play here. I think technically switching out was the right thing to do, but it lost me the game. So it's like, it's that weird situation in Mons where, especially in Draft League, if we're on the ladder, I Iron Head every day of the week. If we're on the ladder, I just Iron Head. He's not Babiri Berry, I'm Iron Heading. But in the Draft League, it's one of those weird situations where you know he's going to have something, and as it happens, I didn't comment on it, but when we knocked him off, he had the Wakan Berry, so we had the Wakan Berry, I'm guessing, for the T-Punch Mega Champ, which is really interesting. He could have been also, Charty Berry to take Stone Edges from Tyranitar. He could have been Charty Berry, Aura Sphere, which I considered too, and it was like all these things going through my head, but I was like, I don't think I risked the game on this, because I can still win with Torn plus Drill plus Mega Medi. And we nearly did, right? We just missed out by a roll and stuff. But yeah, weird game. So let me know down in the comment section, what do you think was the right play? Do you think I should have just stayed in and just on screw it? If he is, it's good prep by him. I'll hold my hands up and lose to good prep. Or do you think the extra kind of trying to pivot around was worth it? Regardless, GG to my man, Ultraplayer. Since our first game in the NPL tryout tournaments, we've become friends, and I've got a lot of time for this man. So definitely, please go check out his side of the battle. I'm going to be there checking it out. It's going to be very interesting. I'm sorry this has been kind of like a protracted explanation. I just think that this was a fascinating battle with a lot going on. And I feel like we kind of played really well here. I'm proud of this performance. Yes, your Bowland Bovines fall to 1 and 3. But I'm not that disappointed, to tell you the truth. Against D-Train, I thought we played well, but I kind of choked the end game. One of the games, obviously, I didn't prep for properly and stuff. That was on me. And then this game, I felt like we played really well, and we were this close to being one of, in my opinion, the best players in the league. So he is now 4-0, so he is obviously one of the best players in the league, right? He's already 4-0. So I'm not too disappointed. I'm not too disheartened. We will be back next week. Hopefully, we will be able to pick up a W. But yeah, thank you so much for loafing around with me, guys. And I'll catch you again next time.